demon, evil, fiend. People think that these things are just in stories, and in reality, nothing like this exists. What a stupid thought. You just don't get it. I go by F2C, and I will remove all your misconceptions by my true and terrifying real stories based on true life incidents of horror and fear on my channel, Anubis Tales. Anubis Tales will make you face the real fear which will leave you in shock. My story today is based on the true life incident which happened in India. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe now so that these terrible stories scare you as soon as possible. Let's get started. Today's story is titled, The Rented Flat. A newlywed couple, Adam and Rhea, had rented a flat to start their new life together outside of the city. They wanted some peace and quiet in their new life, so renting a house outside of the city seemed like a good decision. At least, this is what they thought, as they had no idea that it would be the biggest mistake they could ever make. What happened next changed their lives forever. The flat which they had rented was very large, spacious, and attractive, but there was something strange about that flat, as they found out very quickly. They never questioned why the landlord didn't charge near its worth. They never wondered if there was a reason it was like he was having trouble finding tenants. The young couple didn't hesitate to sign the lease, as it was an amazing deal for everything they wanted in a place. Adam was working late that day, and Rhea was all alone in the flat. After finishing all her housework, she was tired and decided to get some rest in the bedroom. She went inside the bedroom from the kitchen and laid on her bed, closing her eyes. The moment she closed her eyes, she felt something pass by. At first, she thought it might be her imagination, or thought maybe it was because she was so exhausted. So she closed her eyes again, and again this time she sensed something moving by from her right side. She opened her eyes quickly and gazed in the right direction, but found nothing. She felt strange about what had happened, but brushed it off, discerning it as her delusion. Adam returned home from work and they went to sleep. The next day again, Rhea sensed something moving around the house while she was working in the kitchen. She looked outside, but there was nobody in the house except for her. Now she started to get suspicious about the whole scenario and decided to tell Adam. When he came back from work, she shared her experience with him, but he did not pay any heed to her and ignored everything she said, saying she's probably just imagining these things as she's alone in the house all day. The next day, when he came home from work, Adam bought a dog for her. They were very happy to have a dog, and they named him Taffy. Taffy was a very playful and friendly dog. At first, things were fine with Taffy, but later he started to act weird, as if he could see something and wanted to tell them. He started to bark daily at 2 a.m. every night. The couple found this behavior very strange and weird. One night when they were sleeping, again at 2 a.m., Taffy started to bark, which woke them up, and later they heard a very loud noise which came from the kitchen. They ran towards the kitchen and found Taffy lying there unconscious. It seemed as if he was hit very hard with something which had knocked him out. The couple took him to the hospital. When the vet asked about the incident, they had nothing to share because they themselves didn't know what had happened to the dog. They brought Taffy home after treatment, but the dog was terrified. He was not ready to enter the house and tried running away, as if he was being threatened by somebody the couple couldn't see. The couple became more attentive with this incident. When the couple went to sleep that night, he ran out of the house and never came back. They tried finding him, but it was too late. He was gone. The couple was upset with that, but after a few days, things went back to normal. One day, Rhea was getting ready to go out for a dinner date with Adam, who was supposed to meet her after work at the restaurant. While she was getting ready, she heard a whisper that wasn't quite clear but audible enough to be heard.
Go. Just go.
And again, she sensed somebody moved behind her. It was something huge and dark. When she turned around, she saw the shadow of a little boy. It seemed as if he was trying to warn her about something unknown. The boy was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and the innocence was clearly seen on his dim face. He vanished into thin air the very next moment. Sweat dripped from her face onto the floor in fear as she stood still for a minute, terrified. She gathered enough courage to reach for her phone, and she called Adam and told him everything that had happened to her. Adam came running home as soon as he could after the call. Rhea was mortified with this incident, but somewhere Adam was not ready to accept what had happened with her. She even told him that she believes that the dog was hurt by the very thing present in their house, but Adam was not ready to believe that either. She didn't know what to do next. How to make him believe what she had been experiencing all this time. So, she decided to investigate the flat and ask around the area. Maybe somebody knew something about it, which would help her husband trust her. She started off with her neighbors, and what she learned was thrilling. The neighbors told her that the flat was haunted. A family used to live there 5 years ago. There were 3 people in the house, a husband, wife, and a child of around 5 years, and the financial condition of the family was not good, and they used to fight about money a lot. One day, out of frustration, the man killed his whole family, including the child, and committed suicide himself. But the strange thing was, the body of the child was not discovered. People only came to know about the incident months later when the body started to rot and the neighbors complained about the smell. Eventually, somebody called the police. They even told her that nobody stays there for more than 2 months. They all run away due to the creepy activities happening in the house. She was in shock after learning the fact that they were living in a haunted flat that was so treacherous. Now she understood the reason why they got the huge flat at such a cheap rate. She was angry and petrified at the same time. She didn't know what to do next. So, she called one of her friends who was a priest in the church and told him everything that had happened so far, to which the priest suggested her to leave the flat as soon as possible. He said if the body of the boy was not discovered and she's seeing the entity of the child, then surely there is more to the story than she's been told. Rhea decided to get to the root of that incident. She started investigating the whole house to find out if she could get something in respect to the little child. She explored every corner of the house, but found nothing. She got dejected and came inside her bedroom and sat on the chair which was facing the mirror near her wardrobe, thinking about what to do next. That very moment, she again sensed somebody standing behind her. She glimpsed at the mirror and saw the little boy again. He was pointing toward her wardrobe, and he vanished the next moment. She understood it was a sigh. The child wanted to tell her something, or maybe he wanted to help her. She rushed toward the wardrobe and started inspecting it. She removed every piece of clothing, jewelry, papers, everything from the wardrobe. While she was doing this, she heard a very loud and horrifying voice.
Stop it, or I will kill you.
Everything in the house started to fall down like an earthquake had hit the flat. She got frightened and ran out of the house. She was confused. One moment the child is trying to help her, and later, why is it stopping her from doing so? It was clear with this that there were 2 spirits in the house. The one wanted to help, and the other wanted to harm. As Adam came back, Rhea told him everything again, and this time he believed her, because he saw the condition of the house. A normal person would not do such a thing to their own house. It was very clear that there was a spirit in their house, and it did not want them to stay there. There was something eerie about that place. The couple decided to call the priest into their flat to get rid of the spirits. The priest came, and what he told them slid the ground beneath their feet. He said that there is a presence of a demonic power in this house who is willing to kill you. But a strange little energy is stopping him from doing so. That energy is nothing but the soul of that little boy who was captured in the house by the demon. The boy needs our help to get free from the demon. But he had no idea how to help him. As they were in this conversation, the spirit of the little boy ran towards the wardrobe and disappeared inside. They understood that there was something inside there which could free him from the demon. So, they started hunting and found a secret door in the wardrobe. As they were about to open it, again, a demonic voice hit their ears.
I will kill you. Stop!
And everything in the house started to fall. It was clear that there was something inside there that the demon did not want them to know about. They gathered some courage and opened the room. It was dark and had a foul stench. They turned on a flashlight, and what they found hit them like a storm. There were bones of a rotting child in there. Everyone was shocked to see it. The reason the body of the child was not found was because it was in this secret room. They brought it outside along with a bone and a note they found saying,
Daddy is drunk and fighting with Mama. I'm hiding in this room. Mama had asked me to stay in here till she calls me. Mom, I'm so hungry. Please come fast. Please open the door. Mom, where are you? I'm hungry.
This means that the child was hiding inside the room when his father killed his mother and committed suicide. But as their bodies were found and their last rituals were done for them, no last rituals were done for him, as the child's body was not found and he died because of hunger. And that place was empty for such a long time. It was taken over by demonic power, along with the soul of the child. The only way to free him was to perform the last rituals for the child. The couple performed the rituals and the child became free. They knew that they were only still alive because of him, and after that, they left that flat because the priest told them it was impossible to remove the demon from there, so it'd be better if they just left the house. The house is still lying empty, and strange, horrific voices can be heard at night, even today. This incident took place 3 years ago in Kalaba village, which is 30 kilometers away from Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. That's it for today. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can do this again sometime. For Anubis Tales, I'm F2C. Farewell.